and we are working every day to pass. It reflects a community improvement program that a lot of people have worked hard on. Today, our Choose How You Move Transit Improvement Program, and before we get to that, I do want to take a few moments to address some other headlines. I'm holding a copy of the state of this law. By definition, Nashville is not a sanctuary city. We do not, nor have we ever had a policy that violates the state law. As we've stated several times in recent weeks, Metro does not have any legal authority as it relates to immigration enforcement, and we do not impede federal law enforcement actions. In fact, we regularly partner with state and federal law enforcement agencies to take violent criminals off our streets. This is the reality. We're very clear-eyed about our legal obligations, and we do comply with the law. There's been a lot of talk about public safety in Nashville. I want to thank the officers and detectives of our Metro Nashville Police Department for their dedication and commitment to all of us. My job is to protect residents. That means both getting violent criminals off the streets and protecting innocent Nashvillians. As May comes to a close, major categories of crime are down in Nashville. Violent crime overall is down. Property crime is down. Rape is down. Robbery is down. Auto theft is down. And homicide is down more than 20%. One of Chief Drake's core homicide is down more than 20%. One of Chief Drake's core pillars is precision policing. That is officers working to arrest and hold accountable people who are often connected to violent crimes that pose a danger to Nashville's family. That priority is working, and it is paired with another key pillar of the department, which is community engagement. I appreciate, respect, and support the work of our officers in uniform. Safety is a pillar of our work, and our upcoming budget focuses on safety in numerous ways. Now, three core pillars of government are the focus of that budget. Those are school services and safety. At our last roundtable, we talked about investments in schools and the ways in which we've seen those investments pay off. Recently, thanks to Metro Schools' efforts, they've seen their best graduation rate ever. And today our focus is moving on to services. And you'll see joined with me today we have representatives of our Choose How You Move Transit Improvement Program, staff for our office, for MMPD as they stand up a security division for transit. Steve Bland, the CEO of WeGo, we're very glad to be hosted here, and some members of our advisory community on transportation for Choose How You Move. Many of our departments touch Nashvillians' lives every day. Our recommended budget invests in how we can make those services more convenient and continue to improve resident quality of life. Those include more reliable trash collection, better lighting and security in our parks, mental health resources, job and internship training for our young people, and addressing housing affordability. As we are here at a WeGo facility, though, we know standard transit service will continue, but thanks to our successful Choose How You Move improvement program, we can now improve. New work is funded. We celebrate WeGo Public Transit access on demand service to weekends and adding 2 new WeGo Link zones. Access on Demand is a paratransit service that provides door-to-door service for people with disabilities who are unable to use fixed-route transit. What sets Access on Demand apart is the ability to schedule a ride as little as 15 to 30 minutes in advance with one of WeGo's Access on Demand providers, Mobility Solutions, Z-Trip, American Music City Taxi, and Uber. And starting tomorrow, May 31st, Access on Demand service is expanding to Saturdays, Sunday, and holidays, giving riders the convenience of being able to move around the city any day they choose. They have long deserved that opportunity, and we are now fulfilling it. New WeGo Link zones are also activating tomorrow in the Maplewood and Broadmoor area of East Nashville, as well as the Elm Hill Pike area of Donaldson. Right now, not everyone lives close to a bus stop or transit center. WeGo Link gives riders a discounted trip through Uber, Mobility Solutions, and Z-Trip to certain transit stops throughout Nashville. Uber riders can download a reusable voucher on the WeGo website and receive those discounts on each WeGo Link ride they book with Uber. Both these services save time and money for people using transit, making it easier to move around the city. Beginning July 6th, riders will also see buses arriving more frequently on 7 popular routes that travel along 5 of our busiest roadways: Lebanon Pike, Murfreesboro Pike, Gallatin Pike, Dickerson Pike, and Charlotte Pike. For more detailed information on all the changes, riders can visit the customer information window at the Elizabeth Duff Transit Center at WeGo Central downtown, or go online to wegotransit.com. Service is one element of the Choose How You Move improvement program, and we are also moving on the other 3: sidewalks, signals, and safety. 2 corridors, Jefferson Street, and the design and community engagement process. The goal is to improve the user experience along both corridors no matter how we move, and that means better improved safety and signals, smarter traffic signals in areas where copper wire for too many years. And you'll notice improved signal timing in many areas, especially downtown, where there have already been adjustments to improve safety at intersections for pedestrians. Local government must work. Schools, parks, libraries, water service, trash collection, road maintenance, police, fire, and medical. These are basic things, fundamental and vital. And lastly, it was a solemn occasion, but one that I have carried with me throughout this week. On Monday, Memorial Day, I joined the wreath-laying ceremony at Isaac Litton High School, which was operating from 1931 to 1971. They have an alumni group that is loyal and remarkable in their commitment to serving both their own community but also our country. I got to see a wall full of blue bricks for service members who had been part of graduating classes from Isaac Litton for years, who had given the ultimate sacrifice. And I will say it was meaningful to be in that space with them and hear those stories. And our charge that we carry forward is to make meaning from that sacrifice. And with that, I am happy to take questions. Yep. We do intend to appropriately respond. Yeah. I am not particularly concerned. We're going to, again, respond appropriately to all inquiries, and we have been guided by full understanding of state and federal law, and will continue to be. I don't have a lot of information about this situation. I did see that report. Happy to review the data. We had one incident we got made aware of potentially related to this story, where we were in direct contact with THP, and it did not sound like this was the intent. So happy to follow up, but don't really have a lot of information. Coming back. It was never the intent of the executive order for those names to be posted. They were removed as soon as we were made aware that they had been posted. We're working on new safeguards and procedures to avoid it happening again. Yeah, I mean, we are not putting public funds in anything that has been alleged so far. This is a huge step forward for us. We received, as a part of pandemic funding, pallet shelters that could be a part of rapid rehousing scenarios for. Longing Fund was set up really in response to the findings of Imagine Nashville, which found that our local immigrant population, in fact, had one of the strongest senses of belonging. I think the Community Foundation, which had been a key partner in the Imagine Nashville process, wanted to make sure we didn't lose any of that sense of belonging from people who have found Nashville to be a great place to live. There is no public funding that is a part of the Belonging Fund, and I would say any of the operation of that fund is, I'd refer anybody to the Community Foundation for questions and answers on that. I'm going to go, sorry, to, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, you probably know they are now moving into working sessions. As a former Metro Council member, I got to sit in on several of those, even when I was not on the Budget and Finance Committee. You probably are also aware that multiple council members have there's been a pattern throughout recent Metro history of submission of wish list items. Typically, you expect council members to be engaged with departments to have some sense of where they would be reallocating funding for. We've just started to see the first signs of some of those wish list items as of this week. Haven't really had a chance to do a thorough review of those, but I will say I've been very encouraged by how Chair Porterfield has presided over both the budget hearings and these first work sessions. You probably saw there were sessions this week on both the pay plan and on USG GSD differences, and so again, these conversations seem to be very healthy conversations so far. We've not had a ton of questions directly from council members to our office. I think we have tried to make sure that they understand the departmental process. They got to engage directly with most major Metro departments over the past few weeks, and so we're expecting to see good, healthy discussion. There will be a public hearing next week, and so we'll look forward to that too. All right, I'm going to come back to the front row, and then we'll come back. Yeah, I do not have an update on dollars raised or how those expenditures have gone, but I'd say you can check in with the Community Foundation. I'll come back here. No, I don't know. I haven't heard kind of a scenario of relocation. I will say we're excited to have new partners in the area. As we opened Strobel House last year, we're also seeing organizations like Hospitality Hub join as new partners and providers to Metro. We have seen, we're recommending expansion in this budget. We know Southeast Precinct will be opening later this year, and we wanted to support that. We're also looking at expanding the Office of Homeless Services in direct response to some of the federal funding after we watch pandemic funding lapse. So we're trying to cover our bases there, and we're also trying to resolve things on the housing crisis front with the Unified Housing Strategy. So we think we're covering a lot of the related issues as quickly as we can, as well as we can.